Hey there, welcome back to the Imperfect Marketing Podcast, where we turn marketing mishaps into pure gold. I'm Kendra Corman, and today we're diving into the wild world of personal branding with AI. So, buckle up, Buttercup. We're about to take your digital persona from to marvelous. All right. Before we jump in, though, let me give you a quick heads up. We got a special AI prompt down in the show notes or the video description. Stick around. I'll explain why that's going to become your new best friend. Okay. So let's jump into the AI branding revolution. Okay. Um, it's not just for tech geeks, definitely not. Okay. This is marketing's new power couple, and it's here to shake things up a little bit. Think of AI as your personal branding assistant. It's like having a clone of yourself, but one that never needs coffee breaks or Candy Crush breaks or any other kind of break, right? So, while AI gets a bad rap in a lot of situations, most of the time it's not AI. It's you, the keyboard warrior, not putting in enough information. But here's the deal. This summer, I was reading The E Myth Revisited, and the book talks a lot about creating repeatable processes to help when you hire new people and are growing your business so that the work is done the way you want it to be. Well, that's what AI does. And having your brand voice down pat can do for you when done correctly. I actually think it's funny because I run into so many people who are like, I can tell if something's AI generated. Then they ask me, was your last email written by you or AI generated? And usually they're wrong. It's bad when AI sounds more like me than I do some days, but it's a really powerful tool when used correctly. Now, here's the $1,000,000 question. How do you keep your voice consistent when you're juggling more platforms than a circus act? Talk about a three-ring circus, right? We've got X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. Enter our secret weapon, the voice paragraph. Okay, this is your cheat code for your brand voice. In the show notes, you're going to find a prompt that goes something like this. You're an AI system that has been trained to analyze the text below for style, voice, and tone. Then use NLP to create a voice paragraph. The voice paragraph you write is designed to prompt a future AI system to write in that same style, voice, and tone. Should not be specific to the actual content, company, or industry. Should instead focus on the style of writing. Here is the input text to base your description on. Then you give it examples. If you're trying to get a Facebook post voice, use Facebook posts you've written. If you're trying for your blog voice, then use a blog. Now, I will say that the shorter the content, the more samples you need to provide. This is your ticket to creating a voice paragraph that'll make AI tools sit up, listen, and give you content that needs less editing. It's like teaching a parrot to talk, except this parrot sounds exactly like you. It can be a little bit creepy. So let's get experimental, shall we? It's time to play around with your brand voice. We're talking a whole spectrum here because maybe you don't have some things, or maybe you're not happy with the tone that you've had before, or maybe someone else was writing your content and you're just not sure what to do now. So let's talk about all the different ways you can do that. So, I'm going to give you some phrases to think about that you might want to add and play around with. So, there is write in a professional tone, right? That's for when you need to adult. Conversational, it's your everyday chat. Use fun, right? Because why be so serious? Tongue in cheek humor. Use that for spicy moments. Humor. A warning, there's a dad jokes may occur here. Emojis, because sometimes words don't just cut it. Pop culture references, that's for the cool kids, or 80s references, those types of things, whatever you're using in your regular conversation, you can use to spice up your regular voice. You could say things like informal and energetic, like chatting with a smart friend over coffee. Mix and match. Your brand voice should be as unique as your fingerprint. Just, a little less incriminating, right? So at first I had professional and conversational. It just really wasn't me. And so I started to add in some tongue in cheek humor with a pop culture reference or two and limiting it all to no more than two emojis. And that's where things started coming together for me. So while you can use the samples and it'll be close, you might want to go a little bit more out of the box on the things that you haven't written if you haven't been happy with how you sound, right? So while you're experimenting, I want you to feel free to leverage some well known people too, like Iron Man or Barbie or Yoda. Not real people. Do not pick your biggest competitor and put in their voice. I just think it's a little shady. So go ahead, experiment, try different words for the voice that you want AI to use. Now, here's a hot take. It's okay to have different voices for different platforms. Shocking, I know, right? It feels like multiple personality disorder, but it's more like platform personality disorder. Your LinkedIn voice might sound a little bit more like it has a PhD, while your Twitter voice might have barely passed high school. That's perfectly fine. Just keep it authentic to you. I don't go that far in a range of things, but I just want you to know that that exists. Now, I've got different voices for social media ads, blog posts, podcast show notes, LinkedIn company page posts, email newsletters. The list goes on. It's not multiple personality disorder, okay? It's called being versatile and true to my style on that platform. Don't be afraid. Go ahead and own it. Now, let's talk about the words that make you cringe. The ones that make you want to throw your computer out the window and be like, why is it writing that again? Right? For me, it's crucial. AI loves the word crucial, but I am so over it. So I made a words not to use list. Every time AI throws a word at me that I do not like, boom, on the list it goes. So start your own list. It's like a swear jar, but for marketing buzzwords or copy buzzwords. Then you just add those to the prompt. Special instructions maybe in Chat GPT or the project that you're using in Claude.ai. Anyway, you look at it, it will save you even more editing time. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about some AI etiquette. Let's teach your digital twin some manners. Remember, AI is smart, but it needs a lot of guidance. It's like having a really intelligent puppy, but you got to train it. I want to make a shout out right now, since we're talking about intelligent puppies, to Leader Dogs for the Blind here. They have really intelligent puppies, but their training is intense. So here are my tips for refining AI generated content. Number one, be specific in your prompts. Review and edit the output. Keep your brand guidelines handy. Don't be afraid to hit that regenerate button or even edit your prompt. All right, let's recap a little bit here. Craft your voice paragraph. Experiment with different tones, even if they don't show up in the voice paragraph. Adapt your voice to the different platforms. Create your nope, don't use those words list, and then train your AI like a pro. I want you to remember that the goal isn't to sound like a robot or to let AI run wild. It's about using AI to amplify your unique voice. So go forth, experiment, and let your personality shine through those algorithms. Next time on Imperfect Marketing, we'll be diving into, well, you'll just have to tune in to find out, mostly because while I bulk record, I can't remember what's next. Until then, keep your marketing imperfect and your brand voice perfectly and authentically you.